all they need to do. Take it away, guys.
All they need to do, indeed, as we do come in, it is going to be Villa as our third map. The first ban comes out. It is Lion. No surprises.
Yeah, both teams banned Lion. Whoever gets the first ban have made sure it is the one that they take out straight away. So once, you know, he came out with this, sorry, not with this map, but the previous map. But yeah, no one really wants to deal with him, and you know, I can't really blame him.
No, not at all. Lion is a very powerful operator, very strong operator to deal with, especially in high coordinated play like we are here at the Six Masters. So Blackbeard being banned out by Dark Sided, that is a very targeted ban on the Fnatic squad.
Yeah, it is, and you know, I think it's a great ban for Dark Sided as well, because no one on their squad really plays Blackbeard full stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And Clash coming out as well. Again, another targeted ban towards Fnatic. I am liking these bans right now out of Dark Sided.
Yeah, Dark Sided showing they mean business. We're going to hit the final ban. Shimming Mirror, yes, it's a Mirror.
Yeah, it was either going to be Mirror or Echo, and it is, of course, the Mirror comes out, and...
See, it's been VSDS who have banned Echo the last couple of times, and you know, it's Fnatic that have come up with some massively clutch plays with that Echo, so letting it get through could potentially be a bit worrying, but you know, I stand by them getting rid of the Clash, because that was ruining their day.
100%. I think the Clash has been a very powerful operator for Fnatic, and I think these two bans out of Dark Sided are very intelligent.
You know, what Fnatic should have maybe potentially considered banning was the IQ, seeing as how much what Fletch was doing with it.
Yep, Fletch has performed on this IQ so much better than what Fnatic has showed us so far. So we'll have to see whether or not that trend can continue as we are getting into round number 1 just now. A sixth pick of a Ying.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of Capcan come out as well. And, you know, we said the more you used it, the less they kind of expect it. But I think using the Capcan this much is just as unexpected.
Kitchen Dining is a first bomb site.
Yes, that is also another surprise. Looks like Fnatic, it's curveballs left, right, and center, isn't it?
Yeah, and Fnatic, they've gone around the world on 2 maps.
Yeah. Well,
actually, no, they didn't. They didn't choose custom on
Border. Yeah, they didn't choose customs.
But we have seen them play customs in the past on Border. Yep. So, you know, could we potentially be seeing something else similar here again, where Fnatic that comfortable on this map that they can pull out every single bomb site?
So yeah, they're really trying to show depth and, you know, not give away too many alternate strategies, I feel.
Yeah, well, especially with Brazil coming up next month, it could be, you know, devastating for them if they show more than what they need to here.
Indeed, as we are into the action phase of the first round, Ace is making sure his Echo drones are in position. And, you know, I'm a bit curious, are VSDS ready to try and attack a kitchen bomb site?
Well, I think they ultimately should be ready to attack it. Whether or not they're ready to attack it as the first, in the first round, we'll have to see whether or not they can make that adaptation. I think they were definitely thinking they were going to go upstairs, particularly to the armory. But, alas, they have to attack downstairs. And that is a very, very spread out defense from the Fnatic squad. Yeah,
they are. A bit of anchorage on site as well. Looks
Lusty
like
in the basement.
Yeah, they're not having too many roamers, are they?
No, only 2 roamers, and Neofighter and Lusty being their roamers, potentially. Easy's back down onto site, but Fletch is going to find the head of Magnet, and they've dropped Legion. That is not the operator you want to lose first off.
No, definitely not. He's going to have limited impact in this round now. It really depends on the position of those goo mines, of course. But that's Fletch finding a frag on that IQ once again. He's really found his groove with this operator, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He's been a powerful, powerful pick on it, and I really do agree with you that, you know, Fnatic should have banned away the IQ.
Yeah, well, he has taken a lot of damage for his trouble there, Fletch, as he's continuing to plug away, trying to find any of these electronic devices that he can detect.
And, yeah, Fletch needs to be reset at this point, whether or not they can. Yep, here they go. It looks like they're going to reset him potentially. No. Or not. Okay. I really thought they were going to do it with the flashbangs, but alas, he's still going to be left on a slither of health. But now, I do believe Dark Sided have access to the site. They do as Jack Daddy finds one, but Rizraz is going to trade him straight back. That makes it a 3-on-4. Rizraz takes a ton of damage in reply, though, but Fletch is still alive. Fletch finds the kill onto Neofighter now, and that leaves us all up to Rizraz and Lusty.
Yeah, Rizraz is pushed up against the thermite open wall, but they're aware of his position. He's going to aggress on it, but can't find the shots. But he's going to escape with his life. 55 seconds, that's plenty of time for Dark Sided, as they are getting ready to end this round.
Yep, Rizraz in a very precarious position right now. He's going to get yinged out. He's forced out further. Here comes the second Candela. It's not going to find anything. Lusty finds Fletch, though, on the flank. Virtue going to take out Rizraz. That all leaves it up to Lusty. He finds one. Lusty finds a second. It's a 1-on-1. Cutie, can he do it with 30 seconds left?
Oh, no! Cutie straight on back!
Wow!
Through the wall!
What a round!
He must have heard. He surely... Oh, no, he saw. He saw. Okay. He saw, but wow, that was way close.
Well, I'm gobsmacked. A massive play by Lusty, and then Cutie comes out with the final frag to shut it down. Dark Sided, they're going to be happy with that round win.
Lusty almost getting that clutch there. Almost the clutch master.
The clutch master. He is the clutch king. He hasn't quite ascended to god status, but he is still the clutch king.
He's still mortal. As we do head to the second one, looks like Fnatic do want to stick with that exact same bomb site.
Yeah, going back down to Kitchen Trophy, I'm kind of interested about this, as Fnatic have not repeated a failed bomb site yet. This is the first time they're repeating it all day.
Yeah, it's an interesting point, of course, Fleet. Bit of a change up though. Lusty looks like he wants to lock in a 6th pick, but what does he want to switch to?
Back to Pulse?
Yeah, the 6th pick to Pulse is a 200 IQ play. I think what Fnatic really need to start doing is they really need to shut down Fletch somehow. Like, no matter what they want to do, they need to just somehow find a way to ruin Fletch. And no, he's going to 6th pick over to the Alibi, in fact.
I'm not a fan of that, of Alibi. I think Alibi, her utility is not good enough at this level of play. Not enough people fall for the Prismas. It doesn't offer enough. I think that, especially with, you know, IQ being so prevalent on this Dark-Sided squad, I just think Alibi doesn't bring enough utility.
See, I think how we saw last round go, I think it's fine, right? Because it really felt like Dark-Sided were just peeking into the bomb site and winning gunfights. If that's what they're going to do in this round, they're going to be shooting a lot of Alibis, let me tell you that.
Yeah, and the Storm is a great weapon.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, it is a brilliant SMG. It's got little to no recoil whatsoever and a very high rate of fire. So her weaponry is fairly strong, but I just think... I think her utility could be better spent using someone else.
It looks like Fnatic are also trying to set up for a more top floor hold as well. Like, we didn't really see much vertical play there from Darksided. It was very, you know, one plane push, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, very horizontal.
Yeah, no top-down angles attempted. It's a bit strange for that bomb site, isn't it?
It is. Kitchen is quite often a very vertical bomb site. You get control and then you start opening the floor. They are, of course, not running a buck or a sledge, so there's very limited destruction that they have of the floor.
Bomb located.
Yeah, well, here we go. We're 45 seconds into that action phase. It looks like the drones are coming out up top this time, though. Looks like there's going to be a bit of a stiffer defense up there, though.
Yeah, a bit more of those Fnatic players going upstairs, as they did realize that is where Darksided pushed in from. That is where they're going to try and get their control. We'll have to see whether or not Fnatic can stop that aggression out of Darksided, whether or not they can curb the control. And Lusty's going, you know, back downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs is a great flank route. You don't normally see attackers go down here, but we say that. I believe that was the Thatcher.
That's a Claymore. He knows it's there. He's picked it back up. He knows someone is right there. Lusty just has to find them. Puts a couple of shots off, and he's just going to go around the flank. Specker did hear some shots. They do know they're around, and they're being very, very careful of Lusty down the bottom here, but he is rotating back upstairs.
Yeah, Specker's going to be very worried that someone is very close to him right now. Looks like he's going to be sending his drone, just jiggle peeking, trying to get some information without losing that drone.
Yeah, they do find the Maestro, which is, of course, Aces. Do know exactly where he's sitting. That older with that ACOG. Brilliant, you know, LMG. He can put massive amounts of rounds into just holding an angle. Suppressive fire.
Yeah, Darksided have not been as successful so far. They haven't found too early picks for free, and that Legion has been up for a while now, so there's going to be more of those goo mines that they're going to have to contest with.
Yeah, and this clock is going to be the enemy as we come down to the final 45 seconds of the round, and they've essentially gained no control of the map. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they can do, as this is going to be just a hard rush. As you said, those goo mines are going to come out thick and fast, though. Yeah, it's another case of no damage has been done either, although I say that Specker's going to find the first one. Rizraz going down, but Lusty's there for a trade back, but Jack Daddy, same thing. 4-on-3 as the execute comes on out, fueled by those Candelas. Virtue's going to hit a goo mine, though. He's getting ready to peek on out as Lusty again for 2. Switching that man advantage just like that. Yep, and there's Virtue putting an end to Magnet. Lusty finds himself a third, though. Can he go for the 4K? It is 2 versus 1. Neon, Lusty versus Virtue on this Ying. He's going to have to go for the plant with 3 seconds. He cannot fake it at this point. The C4 comes out. He's going to attempt to fake it. And unsurprisingly, the clock runs out. Yeah, there we go. That was a lot better there from Fnatic on that bomb site.
Lusty stepping up huge, finding quite a few frags there, and, you know, Virtue left in a pretty well impossible situation.
Was it better from Fnatic, or was it worse from Dark Sided? They gained no meaningful control throughout the round.
Yeah, it's because Dark Sided were really expecting to be able to take that top floor for free, and when they couldn't, they just sat outside doing nothing. So the change from Fnatic just really stalled out the Dark Sided push.
Yeah, it certainly did, and I think Dark Sided didn't really have an answer for it. You know, whether or not they only have the one attack prepped for the kitchen dining bomb site, or whether or not they don't really have an answer to an adaptation, or, you know, because they did just sort of have to brute force their way through it. And we saw them sort of play with the basement a little bit, and a couple of shots from Lusty made two of them just totally clear out. Like, it was 2v1, and Lusty made both of them just walk out.
Yeah, and we do see that Fnatic have locked in the trophy room and statuary. So normally this is the secondary bomb site, you know, after... Still is
the secondary bomb site.
Yeah, it is this... Oh, look at these kills. 7 for Lusty. Rizraz with 1, and that's it for Fnatic.
3 donuts on Fnatic. Lusty going large, going huge.
And it's quite even on the Dark Sided side. But yeah, it's normally the second choice bomb site. It is here, but then again, it's, you know, why aren't we seeing the standard first choice bomb site?
Yeah, well, and I think that comes down to Fnatic wanting to show depth on these maps. They want to say, hey, you know, we're proficient in every bomb site, challenge us.
10 seconds left.
And if you want to take us, we will have an answer for you no matter what.
5 seconds.
And I think avoiding the more favored bomb sites is a great strategy if you actually have that depth to back it up.
Attackers objective.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to see Neo on that cap cam once again.
Yeah, he's really liked it, haven't he? Fnatic being a very big proponent. We have... we saw, 3 or 4 go off on border in a single round. So, you know, Dark-Sided, they're going to have to be a lot more prepared for them than what they have been in the past.
There we go. Fletch finally finds the right angle for that camera.
Yeah, that archway just being a little bit of a pest, but eventually he does pick it up.
Yeah. Well, 30 seconds into this one, the drones are coming out in their standard spots. You know, we're not... Normally for this bomb site, you see a push in the bedroom, a thermite into the statuary room, and a plant from there. But, you know, that's a lot easier said than done.
Yes, it is. And the Claymore's going to come down. This is something that Dark-Sided have been very adamant on, Claymoring out these run-out spots, making sure Fnatic cannot get aggressive on them. And it has been working to curb the Fnatic aggression so far.
Yeah, it's been definitely keeping them honest. Look at Lusty and Neofighter and Rizraz all the way on the other side of the map.
Yeah, really getting this heavy, heavy roam from Fnatic. And we'll have to see how it plays in because it's going to leave Magnet on the site. Fletcher's going to find aces, though. That's their Maestro taken off the board. That is a powerful pick, and that is their Plant Denier gone. And
it is also one of their primary anchors. Lusty's going to go down to Jack Daddy's horse. That is one of their roamers taken off the board. But it really feels like Dark-Sided are just attacking a site with just one player left on it.
Yeah, Virtue and Cutie just staring at each other for a little bit, so they realize they both have VSDS above their heads, and they're going to move on. So, but Jack Daddy has been taken really, really low. Virtue's at half health as well. So there has been damage put onto the Dark-Sided teams, but at the end of the day, they're not dead.
Yeah, well, there's Fletch finding one onto Rizraz. So it's a 5-on-2 right now, and Magnet just can't land those shots. Switches to the pistol, but these drones are coming out thick and fast. This is looking great here for VSDS. That's all up to Neofighter. 1v5. He's not going to last much longer. Fletch, massive plays there, and Fnatic, they just can't find any kills, can they?
No, they can't. They cannot do what they want to do. Their roamers are getting shut down. Their anchors are getting shut down. They are losing gunfights to this ViewSonic Dark-Sided team, and they're coming up huge with these round wins right now.
It really feels like Lusty is the only one on Fnatic who's shot a gun before on that team, isn't it? He's the only one that's landing shots, and even that round he didn't land any.
Yeah, they sort of got picked apart, didn't they? One at a time. There was no refrags. There was none of that Fnatic team cohesion that we're used to seeing.
You know, I think this might be the point where they're thinking about a tactical pause.
Yep, and I think honestly, it probably should come out sooner rather than later. I think if VSDS wins this round, attack pause 100% for Fnatic.
Looks like Fnatic are going for the Aviator room and Games room, however.
Finally, they're going to bring out the standard site.
Yep, the standard site. No real surprises there. Looks like, you know, when they find themselves starting to drop rounds, that's when they default to what everyone knows works.
Yeah, and with no mirror, though, this site becomes a little bit more interesting. Of course, I play a lot with Dev Martyr, and he really despises mirror on this bomb site. Like, he really despises mirror on this bomb site.
And why is that?
He says it actually makes it harder to hold, which is an interesting point of view, because it means that you leave some of your walls open and soft that otherwise would be hard, otherwise be hard reinforced, particularly around the study. So it can mean that you can get some nice flanks, and it makes the sites not as secure when those walls come open. So Dev is a big proponent of dropping mirror from this site.
So, you know, if you want to stop people from playing around in the study, I'd recommend some C4s below, perhaps. I think that would probably be one of the best ways to counter that. But then we look at the Fnatic squad. No one's got a C4.
Yeah, well, you know, without the mirror taken away, the study becomes a lot more, the sites become a lot more comfortable, particularly around the study. And so it means they are going to have to force their way in through the other side of the map and push east to west.
Looks like that's what VSDS might be doing as they're getting their drones out rather diligently, placing those claymores as well. That's a lot of drones.
That is a lot of drones going through the one window, and they need to make some meaningful ground with these drones because they're just getting shot up. The drones are going to waste as they get all put through the same window.
Yeah, it looks like Ace is going to be doing exactly what the attackers are doing as well, sending his drone out for a bit of a scout. Unfortunately,
no Twitch, so we're not going to see any battle bots go down today, but we are going to have to see whether or not Ace's roaming yokais can come out, and that's a Prisma Fletch. He's just going to have to stay safe for the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like Lusty wants to aggress on that as well, peeking out at the L-bend in the hallway, not finding anything, however.
No, they're not. And we're almost about halfway through the round as the minute 30 mark is going to come up shortly. And VSDS have very, very slowly taking control of map here.
Yeah, it looks like Spec is well aware that we've got Rizraz on those stairs down towards basement. Neophyte is also there with him.
Yeah, and this is what we want as Lusty actually finds the first kill onto Virtue, but Spectre trades him straight out. That run out's finally gone down, and that's another Prisma coming out for VSDS. They've found all of them so far.
Yeah, Lusty with an aggressive run out. It doesn't play too many dividends. Fletch.
Hip fire on the yokai through the floor. That is a brilliant IQ play.
Interesting technique, yes, as we're going to see another Prisma
That's
get
the
shot.
Third and final one get shot. VSDS successfully find all of them as Neophyter finds the head of Fletch, though. He says, you're going to shoot a Prisma? Well, I'm going to shoot your teammate.
And he's rocking the FMG9 on that smoke as well. Rather interesting choice, but it's given his team the man advantage in a 4-on-3 now. 50 seconds on the clock, so there's still plenty of time for the execute, but how's this going to go down as they're going to drone it out to suss things out first before they start to make any steps?
Yep, and this Prisma is placed really, really well. There is someone playing behind it. They need to be very aware of it. There's the peek from Rizraz. Finds the head of Jack Daddy, and that's the Zofia taken off the board. We're now left in a 4 versus 2 here. Cutie and Specker. As Cutie takes a ton of damage from Magnet on the flank. That leaves it all up to Specker, but Rizraz going to have something to say about that. And Fnatic go 2-2.
Well, we finally see a round where Prismas are very, very, very effective.
Yeah, I've been ragging on them all series, and
I think
finally...
Five times they got shot?
Yeah, like, I've been ragging on them all series, and finally they just come up huge.
Well, 1-1 right now in terms of round count. Is this the point Fnatic take the pause anyway, or not?
I don't think so. I think Fnatic are better off saving their pause for their attack. We know their attack has been a lot weaker than their defense, so I think they should save their attack pause for when they're still running into those clock issues that they can reset. Dizzle can smack them over the back of the head and say, watch the clock.
Needs to give them some good chair slaps and pumping them back up. But they are going trophy room and statuary room. Now they got destroyed on this bomb site.
Yep, this wasn't even close. This wasn't even close. So very interested to see them going back here. They do, of course, they do have kitchen open to them at this point.
Yes, they could have gone back to kitchen.
Is there even much of a point of going to the final bomb site? Like,
well, they almost won it twice. Well, they won it once and almost won it a second time. That being said, the first time they tried it, it was almost clutch from Lusty.
8 kills on Lusty still.
Yeah, well, we are seeing some more frags come out from Fnatic for once.
Fletch on 6, though. Lusty may be carrying Fnatic kicking and screaming through this match, but Fletch is dragging Dark Sided kicking and screaming through it too. So, you know, Ace is still carrying a donut.
Yeah, and I suppose one of the changes that we haven't really mentioned from Dark Side is that I believe Spec has taken up the role of IGL and Fletch has moved off that onto a more fragging role, and, you know, it's definitely working.
Working a treat, isn't it? Fletch, you know, putting those years of flick shooting to use.
Yes, experience.
Yep. And, you know, he has been in the Siege Pro League since day dot. He's been a very powerful player historically, so, you know. And he's managed to maintain his strong presence at the top of the scene, so why not put him on these fragging operators?
And here he is searching outside for all these potential utilities that have been tossed out. No Valkyrie, though, so he doesn't really have to worry about that. And he's going to decide, well, it's clear enough, boys.
Yep, Fletch going to go to the roof. And interestingly, we'll have to see how they're going to go. This has been a very passive attack so far from Dark Sided.
Yeah, they've been very slow, haven't they? They've been droning things out. They're not really acting off of any information that they're gathering.
Yeah, and the drones are now finally coming out. Whether or not they're going to push them, Specker is going to go through the wardrobe by the looks of it. No, just going to open up every single window. Make Fnatic be worried about these windows. And just say, hey, they're all open. It's all yours. Come to us if you want. But Fnatic's not going to come with it.
Yeah, they don't really look like they've got as strong a presence to try and deny this master bedroom area at all. It's like normally you'd see maybe a bandit trick here, as we're going to see the
impact comes
grenade.
Straight out.
Nice.
Magnet takes out one of those thermite charges. The Texan Dynamite not going to be able to blow the wall, and they are going to try and take it again. He's going to pop it. The impact nade should come out. Magnet's going to deny the thermite. The Texan Dynamite is completely ineffective here, and they're going to have to find an alternative way into the bomb site.
Yeah, well, they've got a minute 20 on the clock, and, they're going to have to push through the choke points of these doors, it feels like. This is going to be a pretty tough round for them to try and walk away with the W here.
Yeah, certainly it is, and if Fnatic do win this, I think that's got to be 100% credit to Magnet being able to pick up both of those thermite charges. Now they're finally going to open up this bathroom. They're going to potentially try and push their way through. Specker finds one, but Magnet trades him straight back. Magnet takes himself a second as he drops Cutie. And Magnet is on fire this round right now.
Yeah, Dark Sided being disadvantaged right now as they're starting to peek on through these doors, through these kill holes. Going to be in a world of pain if they decide to push on. That's Diffuser actually dropped on the bomb site.
Yeah, you can see Virtue trying to take out Goo Mines as he's now thrown all over the Diffuser, as that is scary for an attacking team. He knows there's one behind the desk. The shots come through by Jack Daddy. He lets nothing. He gets the flick! Aces, you're going to have to sit down. Magnet's going to take out Virtue, though. Jack Daddy's still pushing around the side, but Lusty has something to say about it. Neophyte is going to finish the round.
Well, that round finished off very swiftly there for Fnatic. As soon as they got rid of that thermite, it was theirs to lose. No more direct sight into the bomb site. Just means that, they can just sit back and, I really feel like they gave up too many frags there in the end.
Oh, absolutely. I think they did too, but Fnatic, doesn't matter how many frags you give away. You pick up the W, you pick up the W. They finish the half 2-3, so they take the casual win moving into the round swap, and I think this is where it's all going to be on Fnatic. Their attacks have been so lackluster today.
Yeah, it's been 3-2 at the half all the way
every time through.
Yeah. Interesting. It's been great to see. Darkside are definitely stepping it up to play along with the big dogs here of Fnatic. It's been great.
Certainly has, hasn't it? And it's great to see how close that they've become. Like, there was a big gap between Atletico and Fnatic and the rest of the ANZ Pro League. And now, VSDS, being the third seed from the ANZ Pro League, coming here and saying, gap? What gap? I don't see a gap.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like their first choice bomb site is going to be the Aviator Room. Stock standard, of course.
Yep. The more comfortable site.
Yeah, it's what we expected from Fnatic, wasn't it? And we even expected them to go there as their second choice. Yeah,
absolutely. And Fnatic obviously shying away. And you can understand why. They want to show depth. They want to show everyone that it doesn't matter what maps you take them on. We're comfortable to play anything. And I think that really sends a statement if they do manage to win a bit. But Dark-Sided, in their eyes, they don't care how deep Fnatic's site pool is. They just have to pick up a win.
Here's something interesting. Fnatic have got a Maverick.
That is interesting, actually, because Maverick is not the most useful operator attacking anything in this fight. Like, and especially coming off Tokyo, we saw Mavericks get destroyed left, right, and center. Maverick had, interestingly, Maverick had the lowest kill death out of any operator coming out of Tokyo land. So it comes down to, it's an interesting pick out of Rizraz, isn't it?
Yeah, I also wonder how they're going to utilize him. Like, obviously, maybe to make some little peek holes behind the bar in the games room would be my best guess.
Potentially. The other one is you could use it to pop open. You could have someone rappel out on that balcony, and you could go take out the wall in study. Right?
The one towards Vault.
Yeah, you could go take out the wall in study towards Vault, or even the wall in study towards the pool room. And you could have someone out on the windows there to hold the angle. So, you know, there is options you could do for it, but Maverick himself could not peek those holes. He just sort of has to crouch and use his blowtorch above his head, essentially.
Yeah, well, we're seeing a lot of droning coming out downstairs, but no real attempt to take it. I feel like both teams have been very worried about potential C4s from below. Them little presents that you're not really too happy to see.
Yeah, and C4s from below is very, very powerful tool. If you can land them, you can get multiple kills. You can get multiple kills with a single C4.
Yeah.
And you can see Rizraz being very, very careful about his flank. I think someone's actually below him. I think he can hear someone, which is why he's being so careful about it. Magnet going to charge around, see if he can get his rotate, see if they can find a superior angle.
Yeah, I wonder what Magnet's waiting for, just for the drones to come on out, make sure they say it's clear for him to jump on in. He's actually going to be engaging in a fight there. He's going to back away, switch over to the concussion. It looks like Rizraz is going to take a lot of damage and go down to Specker at the L-bend. He's going to be completely finished off, and there's no trade back here from Fnatic at all.
Yeah, and that is the downside to Maverick. You need to get in close and you open yourself up to flanks. Speaking about flanks, Lusty finds one on the Virtue on site, and that ties it up 4-4. Spec has been taken pretty low, though, in amongst all this.
Yeah, but there's 50 seconds on the clock. We saw Fnatic struggle with their time management. They really need to get a move on right now.
Yeah, they certainly do. Time management has been the biggest issue for both of these teams on attack. And oh no, the flank. Cutie comes up. He does not find anyone as Aces shuts him down. Tells him to go back downstairs and mind your own business. But Magnet finds Specker as well. That's the low health Specker. Neofighter finds Fletch. Neofighter!
He is on fire. Wow, that was some pretty quick double kill there. Finding those headshots, sending them down and taking the round there for Fnatic. Look at that cheeky little smile he's got on his face.
He was happy about that. He was happy about that. And Magnet was happy about it as well.
You know, that round, like, I don't want to be too critical of Fnatic here because they won it, but they were just taking straight up firefights and winning them.
Yeah.
They were just peeking.
Yeah. That's all that happened. And now we do have a tactical pause coming out of the Dark Sided squad here. You know, they did lose that relatively convincingly, as you said. It just came down to the gunfights that they lost. And now they're going to have a chat here from their coach and try and force things forward.
Yeah, I really wonder how much they prepared for Villa being the newest map. Like, it's one of the ones that, you know, hasn't really been explored fully, like just in, you know, a solo queue kind of play style of how everyone's going to play. And, you know, that's kind of what the pro strategy is built off, isn't it?
If you weren't prepared for it, you would have banned it out. Right? Like, they have to be comfortable on some form, like some way, shape, or form. They have to be comfortable on it because they did let it go through.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
If you're not, like, there were maps there that they could have left in and they chose to take them out. So, at this point, to me, they have to be comfortable on Villa. They have to have their strategies and they have to be prepared for it.
Yeah, well, you can see their game faces are on. They look like they're focusing in, of course. It's really what they want to do. See the crowd again. Say hi, guys.
And there is the Atletico squad.
Going to be seeing them next, aren't we?
Yep, they're going to be up next. They're taking on Nora Rango.
So what do you think's going through their heads watching this? Are they thinking, oh, come on, VSDS, get on through?
I think at this point, Atletico would be rooting for VSDS. It does make an easier matchup in the grand final, in my opinion. But
if they get there.
Well, yeah, well, that is it. I mean, they have the giant wall that is Nora Rango.
And not even, you know, it might not even be the easier matchup, seeing as
well, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, technically, the easier matchup would be whichever team loses here. Like,
well, based on previous seedings, though.
Yeah, and here's the kill credits. Lusty on 10. He is over double what anyone else on his team has managed to frag out right now. Meanwhile, a much more natural waterfall Crescent coming out of VSDS.
Yeah, Lusty has been the man to watch for Fnatic so far. So many rounds he's won, and one of those rounds he almost got a clutch in as well.
Yeah, he certainly did. That was phenomenal. That was a 3K. He almost got the 4K, but shut down at the last minute. And have we changed bomb size?
10 seconds remaining.
Sorry, what was that?
We're at the trophy.
Yeah, we're going trophy room. Dark Sided don't want to try it again. You know, it's fair enough. I don't know.
Look, I feel like there was nothing wrong with their strategy. It all came down to their gunfights. And their gunfights changed from round to round to round. So 100%, I think they could have gone back to Aviator and been successful.
Yeah, like, do you think that maybe these teams are just deciding to move too quickly each time?
Potentially. I mean, we've seen, as you know, commentators and casters in the past, we've been very critical of teams who just doggedly go for the same bomb site over and over again.
Beat their head against the wall.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, you know, I think it comes to the point where you need to stick to your guns a little bit. You need to back yourselves that little bit. They were destroyed in Aviator, but it came down to individual play. There was nothing wrong with their strategy. There was nothing wrong with their overarching gameplay. It just came down to their gunfights, which can change so quickly.
Yeah, well, 45 seconds into the round. Looks like Fnatic just opening up into Master Bedroom, as we saw Dark Sided do. But are they going to be able to make sure that we're not seeing any of those impact tricks when they go for the Thermite?
Well, how do you deny it? You're going to have to throw a nade over the top of it, which, you know...
The floor below as well.
The floor below. They do have a Zofia and an Ashe. They can deny it from below, but...
Oh, there's no impacts there. Jack Daddy's running a shield.
Oh, wow. Okay, so no impacts at all.
That being said, Fnatic are going to expect him to be running impacts, and they've droned out his position.
Yeah, and he is in the position. So whether or not they're just going to mind game it to try to go for something else, like, alternatively, they can just Maverick the wall and force him out via Maverick, right? Like, that is an option to Rizraz at this point. If Rizraz doesn't get taken out from the flank again, he can 100% shut down the Jack Daddy's potential, theoretical impact trick.
Yeah, and look how Fnatic is setting up here as well. They're surrounding the bomb site. They're going to push in from all different angles right now. VSDS might be in for a world of hurt unless they can cut off some of these angles.
Yeah, they need to find these picks and they need to find them fast, or else this is going to hurt. Every time we have seen simultaneous entries onto a single bomb site, it has been destructive for the defenders. And with only 50 seconds left, Fnatic are setting up for this final push.
Yeah, they are definitely taking this rather slow, aren't they? They're being methodical about it, and I wonder how ready VSDS are for it. Normally they've had Cutie playing as a roamer ready to go for a backstab, but there we go. He's playing Anchor right now. He's going to pop up with the first frag. That's going to be some missed shots from Magnet as well, but Rizraz is there to finish Cutie off. 30 seconds and that plant is going down.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if he missed the shot because he managed to cover the plant. That was all he had to do. The flank from Magnet. He manages to shut it down. Specker gets taken out but doing nothing. Jack Daddy's been down in amongst all this, so at least Fletch in a 1 versus 3, unless he can get his teammate up, which he's going to attempt to do. A couple of shots come out. Surely they can see him through that wall. No, he manages to get him up. They're going to go for the defuse. Can he pick it up? There is one on their flank. The flashbang comes out. Nothing comes of it. Jack Daddy putting a couple of shots through. Fletch is trying to go for the diffuser. Is he? No, he's trying to wait for it. Jack Daddy picks up a double. Rizraz shuts him down now. 1-on-1. Fletch versus Rizraz. But they're getting aggressive on each other. Rizraz wins it with the pistol.
Wow. What a round what a match so far. Fnatic are on match point. And it's a 5-on-2, and this has just been a straight-up slugfest, hasn't it? Firefight after firefight.
It really has. It has all been down to these gun games. We have seen time and time again, gun battle after gun battle. It's been, like, I think that's the first plant we've seen in a little while.
And look at the faces on Fnatic. They look like they're enjoying themselves a lot more right now.
Yeah, they are definitely feeling a lot more comfortable after the last couple of rounds they have shown. That is, of course, 3 in a row for Fnatic now. That is the most any one of these two teams have won in a row.
Yeah, that's true. It has definitely been one of those matches that go back and forth. But Fnatic, 5-on-2, you know, I did say I think this might be a heavily favoured Fnatic map. What are we feeling?
Oh, yeah, look, you might be right, Monkey, but it ain't over yet.
Yeah, I should probably stop saying I told you so before it gets to the I told you so part.
Yeah, at least wait till you're right, yeah?
Sorry, I'm just so used to you being wrong though, so. But we do head into potentially the final round here of this matchup.
Yeah, we do. Match point, series point for
Dark
Fnatic.
Sided fighting from behind.
They certainly are, and whether or not they can pull it up. Rusty's still going out strong on 11. Magnet and Rizraz both on 6. Flesh with 7 kills.
Ace has got a breadstick.
Sitting on that breadstick. He's managed to get himself off that donut, but he still had a very minimal impact, which is interesting for Aces.
Yeah, like, he's had a pretty quiet series so far, hasn't he? Maybe it's the role changes.
Do you think it was putting him on the support and anchor positions has really curbed his kill?
Yeah, well, we've seen some great plays from him on Maestro, which is a great anchor, of course, as well. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose he was impressive on the Blitz on Oregon. So,
Attackers have recovered
yeah,
the
I don't know. He's just been like quietly plodding along, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, even then, if you go back to that blitz play, it wasn't him picking up those frags himself. It was him forcing Dark Sided into spots where the rest of the Fnatic squad can pick up those kill credits. Because you're not going to stand there and face tank a blitz charging at you, right? You're going to get out of dodge, and they walk straight into the crossfire. So I think that comes down to Aces taking on a more team-orientated role rather than his Blackbeard fragging traditionally.
Yeah, here we go. Fnatic, they've got like 3 drones here in the master bedroom, all checking it out, just in case they missed something.
Yep. And, you know, you can never be careful enough, Monkey.
The attackers bombed the diffuser.
Reminds me of a time when I asked you if a window was clear in this area, and you said yes.
Recovered the diffuser.
And there was
To
a
be
frost
fair,
mat.
I said the room was clear.
Oh, okay.
There was no one in the room.
All right, whatever. No, let's not worry about that. But minute down already. Not much has happened though. Just default map control gained here, and we're going to see our first use of the Maverick here on the reinforced wall. How ready are Darksided for it? We're going to see the one-on-one duel right through the hole in just a moment. Maybe not.
Yeah, the gunshots coming through thick and fast. Rizraz not going to try and re-peek it. They do, of course, know someone's there. And Jack Daddy, he's got the impact nades this time. However, he won't be able to impact it. As we said, they've got the Maverick to try and open that up and deny the impact.
Yeah, it could have been a bit of a mistake last time bringing the shield instead, of course. So looks like Fnatic is set up in a very similar way, all spread out around the bomb site, getting ready to explode on in all together as a concentrated unit. We're going to see the frag grenade come out in a pretty common position, but no one's there. So not much done with that one.
Yep, Rizraz going to keep opening up this wall. He's going to open up a bit more for himself. He needs to be careful. If he opens up this wall much more, he's not going to have any safe places to stand. Oh, but he manages to see one. Jack Daddy takes him out, though. Neophyter trades back onto Jack Daddy just as they get the kill. A little bit too late to save his teammate.
Yeah, Jack Daddy very aggressive. Just decided to run through that door that time. Aces is going to rappel on in to help support the team, and they're aware of this flank at the end of the L-bend hallway. Or are they? Magnet. Spec is at the end there. He really, the way he was playing, I could have sworn he knew about it, but no, he's going to jump on his drone instead. Well, he's going to finally spot it. Now he's aware, as Fletch is going to find Lusty elsewhere on the map.
Yep, this has been good so far from Darksided. They're now with the man advantage, but it's going to be extended as Specker takes out Aces there. Neophyter's going to do his best, though, as he takes out Fletch. Whether or not his best is going to be enough, it won't be as cute. He puts an end to him, puts a bullet right between his eyes. Now it is all up to Magnet, the captain of this Fnatic squad. Can he do it? Can he lead them to this map and series victory right now?
What, 10 seconds though, not likely. He is going to find Specker though, but he's going to jump on into the bomb site where there is those Maestro cameras to contest with. He's going to find Virtue, but he's going to go down. That's the time as Darksided, they're hanging on by a couple of fingers here on the precipice, but they are still in it.
That was close out of... If this is the last round that they're going to play, I think they should be extremely happy with their performance.
Yeah, they must be ecstatic right now, to be honest. But look what we got here. Aces on the blitz.
Yeah, going back to old favorite.
He did have some great impact on Oregon. He didn't play it on border at all. Tiny bit surprising, maybe.
Well, whether or not he can do it, he's only got 1 kill to his name. He's been playing blitz in a very interesting fashion, not going after those frags, instead trying to force Darksided to rotate into unfavorable positions. So,
yes,
whether or not he did that so effectively on Oregon, whether he can reproduce that effective strategy, we'll have to wait and see.
See, it's not that he's being outright aggressive. He's putting out some measured aggression that works well in a team.
Exactly.
We go Specker hunting those drones.
I think moving forward, that's going to be how we see Blitz get played, right?
Yes.
Like Blitz is really scary on a one-on-one fight. So when you see him charging towards you, you instinctively turn around and run the other way, right? So if you can capitalize on that instinct of your enemy team, we can 100% see this be the standard way that Blitz gets played moving forward.
Yeah, he definitely triggers that fight or flight trigger, and let me tell you, it is flight.
Yeah, it is always flight. Unless you've got something up your sleeve, it's always flight.
Well, we are into, once again, potentially the final round.
We've said that a lot today.
Yeah, well, it is potentially.
I didn't say it was wrong, I just said we've said it a lot.
We're on match point for Fnatic right now. 30 seconds down, but they're attacking the kitchen this time. We haven't seen Darksided defend this bomb site at all.
No, we haven't. This is going to be something new for them. And whether or not they can pick it up will be very, very interesting. And what a sight to rest your entire series on. Kitchen. Like, haven't gone to it, haven't successfully defended it, and just coming off 2 losses of Trophy, going to the Kitchen before they can go back to Avatar. Aviator, sorry, Avatar.
Yeah, well, they didn't even win Aviator, did they?
No, they didn't. Trophy's the only one they've won. So, like, what do you do? Like,
it looks like they have decided that maybe Kitchen might be the place to start their final stand here. You know, I'd have to agree with them. Like, if, you know, they got completely destroyed on the games room bomb site. Bit of a change up. Maybe they could be a bit more successful. Jack Daddy peeking a bit, but no, he couldn't see anything. You can really feel the tension here, can't you?
You really can. You can feel it on everything Dark Sided is doing. They know that a single mistake can lead them to death here. And Magnet trying to see what he can find. Not really finding anything. He's used all 3 of his breach charges, but he still does have his lifelines left. Specker, though, going to find the first kill. Managed to drop Rizraz. That is a massive kill for Dark Sided.
Yeah, well, there's a minute on the clock now on Specker. He's going to try and jump on out of there. Change positions so, you know, they don't have as much information as to his whereabouts. So you're going to see the Thermite charge go off in just a moment. Interesting to see that Lusty's back on that Thermite roll. Yeah,
going back to more traditional roles in amongst Fnatic. But of course, you know, Thermite, he's known as Fragmite for a reason. That 5.56 is an amazing weapon, and it can do a lot of damage, especially once he's used his utility.
Look at Jack Daddy's position as well. He's right below a window, getting ready to jump on out when the call comes from his team. Here we go, but he's going to go right into Lusty's crosshair. So there's the refrag, putting us into a 4-on-4, but Specker's going to find his second. His third. But Lusty's there with another one. Looks like Specker's going to find his 4th, and Cuties going to finish things off. VSDS, they're staying on in.
They have kept their dreams alive right now. And whew, Specker.
Massive round.
Yeah, massive round. A 4K?
Must be the power of the moustache, let me tell you, Flea. He's channeling it.
All right. You heard it here first, guys. If you want to play better Siege, grow a mustache like monkeys and Speckers. Instantly make you a better player.
Well, that's a trade secret. Keep it quiet.
Sorry.
Thing is, though, Dark Sided have to go back to their Aviator and Games room, though.
Well, they don't have to. There is a 4th bomb site on the map.
Yes, of course, but who
they
really
probably
wants to go
won't.
to lounge room?
Yeah, they probably won't. So, you know, Aviator, it wasn't close.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. It was just Fnatic just rolling on in and winning gunfights. Neo with a juicy 2K.
But that being said, it was only the gunfights.
So the gunfights go the other way. We've got overtime.
That's it. Gunfights are what? 50-50. Like you can do stuff to put the odds in your favors, but ultimately, like the one-on-one gunfights we saw out of that first round was 50-50.
Yeah.
So they could go either way. It doesn't like. This is what I said, that Aviator was fairly strong for Dark Sided until they tried to take fights. I think if they play it more intelligently, if they play it smarter, they can potentially, well, 100% they can take this round.
Yeah, well, this is the final round of regulation time. Whether we go to overtime, yet to find out. Little change up in terms of operators for Fnatic, but looks like Lusty's going to put himself on the IQ and Ace on the Thermite this time.
Yeah, going back to, you know, the newer roles that they've adopted. I was looking for a better word, but couldn't find it, so newer will do. And no blitz this time as well. It wasn't exactly impactful.
Oh, Jack Daddy. Oh, almost got the spawn peak off there, but I think he fell off at the very last second there. And now Fnatic are very aware of that open window and to look out for any sneaky peekies that are coming on out.
Yeah, look, I don't think they're going to re-peek it again. That would just be suicide at this point. Fnatic, they're probably going to be very comfortable leaving that window open, at least for the meantime, and not having to worry about it for another minute or two.
Yeah, Lusty gathering this information with his electronics detector.
Yeah, his little iPad on the corner, like, it does
Isn't
look
it more like a Nintendo DS?
A Nintendo DS, yeah.
Attached to your arm. It's all the rage, guys. Look it up. Well, looks like Dark Side have gone for a bit of a heavy anchor strategy once again. No one really roaming around the outside of the bomb site. They are You know, they do have some players towards bedroom, I believe, but they're a bit of a non-issue in this stage of the push.
Yeah,
As I say that, Specker.
Jack Daddy's downstairs.
Okay, he's downstairs then.
That's very interesting. All the way in the basement. And that's a flank from Specker. Finds the head onto Magnet. It's going to put him in the ground. Magnet's now going to have to lead his team from the grave.
Yeah, that's, again, Specker finding another massive frag. He has really stepped up so far on Villa, especially in these last couple of rounds. And there we go. He's found the opening pick for his team.
Certainly has. The drones coming through for Fnatic, though. They've still got 1:20 on the clock. Nothing to be too concerned about just yet, but they need to start making some meaningful ground here.
Yeah, drones coming on out, trying to see what they can see, but it really feels like Fnatic might be playing from behind in this round after losing that first frag. And they really seem lost as to what they want to do.
Yeah, they really do, don't they? Like, Fnatic are just unsure of how to push this. Rizrad's going to find one of those cams. Ace is there to try and help him out, see if they need a refrag. And Specker maybe potentially could do something with this flank.
Yeah, he's definitely in a position to do so. It looks like Fnatic really feel like they might be forced to just push on through these doors, but Rizraz, beautiful headshot there. Cutie's going to hit the grave, and that's put us back into an even man count, but there's 30 seconds on that clock.
Yep, and that was the Maestro. They've lost their Evil Eyes. The plant denial is now only going to be coming out of smoke, but Neophyte is going to find Jack Daddy. Specker is trying to make the flank happen here. Whether or not they can do it, he's got a Claymore to deal with. It looks like Rizraz might be able to take it out. But Fletch and Specker both come up with a kill. Neophyter's going to trade one back onto Fletch. Lusty has been down, so Neophyter is the only one left at this point. He's going to step into a Gumon. He's in a one-on-one unless he can get his teammate up. He does have the diffuser, and there's the time frame. There's C4. We are on overtime.
Wow, what a comeback from VSDS. Down 5-2, and they're able to string 3 of their own together in a row to bring us to 5-5 overtime. You know, I asked you the question, are they going to be able to do it? And yes, they can.
Damn right they are, is the answer that they have for you.
I'm so impressed right now with this VSDS squad. Not only are they coming up with the rounds, but they're showing that mental fortitude when they're behind.
Certainly they are, and it has been something that we know has plagued Dark Sided in the past. They have been an extremely emotional team, so seeing them be so far down, 4 rounds in a row went to Fnatic, and they pull it back to OT is just brilliant.
Flashback, maybe last year around this time, we had a 10K Cup, which was the Fnatic versus Dark Sided in the best of 3 grand final. Although then Fnatic were known as Mind Freak, but can you tell me the scoreline for that matchup, Flea?
I actually don't remember it.
It was a 15-1, complete smashing. Dark Sided only able to put 1 round up on the board. You know, come to PAX here, they are taking Fnatic all the way to Map3 overtime.
Yeah, and that is a great showing out of the Dark Sided squad. Brilliant growth coming out of them too. The changes that they've made this year, the work that they have done has been huge. And again, we have to give credit to their coach for this. The last week of boot camping they have done has been phenomenal for them.
Yeah, awesome stuff from Dark Sided, but you know, it's not all over yet. They haven't walked away the victors. They still have this overtime, you know, 2 rounds or 3, depending how this goes.
And again, Dark Sided have drawn the defense. You know, they've managed to randomize the defense, which has to favor them.
Yeah, Fnatic really struggling with those attacks, haven't they?
They certainly have, and you know, round 11, 5-5. We're seeing a buck come out of Lusty here. I think this is the first buck we've seen in a while.
Yeah, quite a bit of a change-up, especially coming to this trophy room bomb site. What's the thoughts here, do you reckon? They're going to try some vertical pressure from below?
Potentially. I mean, that is something that is a possibility. Vertical play is always so strong, especially normally when you think of vertical play, you think top-down. You don't think of vertical play as, you know, bottom-up. So it can catch people so unaware if you're below them and they think they are safe.
You know, it really depends on how Lusty does play that one. Maybe it was just a pick of this is what I'm feeling like right now.
Potentially. Well, I mean, Lusty is meant to be that flex pick for Fnatic. You know, in this new role, that is what Lusty's job is. And you can see him flexing all over the place. You know, he's picked up like, what, 4 or 5 different operators?
Yeah, of course. But, you know, who has made a great impact so far in the final rounds? It's been Specker. Are we going to continue to see his reign of terror?
I really hope we do. Specker has been a monster this second half of the Dark Sided, the second half of this map for Dark Sided, and I think that, you know, Fletch carried them early game, Specker carries them late game. That is a great team combination right there.
Yeah, for sure. They're definitely working in their roles properly, and that's a lot of information gathered as well. There's no IQ for Fnatic this time to try and pick up the presence of those Valkyrie cameras.
No IQ at all. They seem to have dropped it. They are still running that Ashe-Zofia combo. Really interesting that they want the soft destruction out of both of them. Actually, really doubling down on destruction in total. I mean, you got Maverick, you got Thermite, and then you got Bach, Zofia, Ashe. Really doubling down on both soft and hard destruction.
Yeah, but are Dark Sided in a position to try and deny this push into the bomb site? It really doesn't look like they're going to have too much. They might have to try and rely on the C4 and the Echo Drone.
Yeah, and I think that Fnatic going hard on these soft and hard destruction is Specker, there's the C4, and that is Rizraz being taken off the table. But Fletch is going to be down in response. He can potentially get back and get rezzed if they can. Fnatic not going to follow through, and he will be successfully reset.
Yeah, there we go. Pick back up.
The Yokai drone was forfeit, but the plant's going down. Magnet's there to cover it out. Magnet gets one. Magnet potatoes, but Neophyter's there to cover his teammate. Lusty takes out Specker, and the plant has just not gone down yet. That leaves us in a 2 versus 3. Magnet is really, really damaged, though.
Yeah, there's 40 seconds on the clock, but Virtue's on this Echo Drone trying to deny the plant. But he's not going to be able to do for too much longer. Surely it's going to get caught out. How is it still alive? Cutie's going to see the head there of Magnet. Takes them on down, but Neophyter right on back. 1-on-2 for Virtue with 20 seconds on the clock. If they find his position, he is dead.
Yeah, he has to commit to one. The call goes out. It is on the east side statuary room. He's going to stop one. He's going to go to ground. He hasn't been killed just yet. The Yokai drone now gets killed. And now Virtue has to take the gun game in a 1 versus 2. If he can just get this first kill, he can take it. No, he can't. Fnatic now match point 5 times.
You know what Fnatic is saying to themselves right now? Why couldn't we do that 3 rounds ago, boys? Finally a successful attack from the Fnatic squad.
And the sigh of relief at a Neophyter. As soon as it cuts to him, you just see him just let out the... Thank God we won that.
That round was very close though, wasn't it?
It was.
It was another slogfest. This is what Villa's been about, hasn't it?
Yep, Villa has been about these battles, these gun games coming out, and it has not been very hard to watch. I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah, well, here we go. Looks like Fnatic back on the defense. Feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been 6 rounds.
Yeah.
So that is a while. So, as we are going through, Fnatic going to take the Aviator room. It's interesting.
Yeah, and they're running an Echo too, but it really feels like their Echo choice hasn't really had much effect into this matchup, has it?
No, well, I would argue that was the first time Echo's been effective all series.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, Virtue almost with the clutch plays, very close, but in the end, not to be.
Attackers need to locate
Yeah, not to be indeed. So, as we do get into it, I find it interesting that they're taking Aviator. And look at those kill credits. Lusty on 15.
Oof.
Lusty on 15. Neo on 11.
Ace is still on the breadstick, though.
Yeah, he has not had a good map so far. Specker on 12. And, Fletch on 11 as well. So those two really stepping up.
You know, when Specker joined this team, he was criticised quite a bit for not being as big of a fragging power as Warden, who he replaced, but he's definitely showed up at this matchup, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and over the course of the Pro League season, even into the finals and now into the Masters, he has really grown, and being able to watch that growth happen is amazing. Being able to go back to his first couple of games where he was dropping donuts, dropping breadsticks, and finally now here he is in double-digit kills, putting the fight to Fnatic. It's just so great to see.
Yeah, you say double-digit kills, but then you say against Fnatic, and it's become so much better. Yeah, great stuff there from the VSTS lineup who've impressed everyone today. As they are staring down the barrel of defeat once again, but they are familiar with this position. They have fought back previously. Can they do it again?
Oh, look, I have faith in Dark Sided to take this round. If we don't go to final round, I'm going to be a little bit sad because we've seen a lot of siege so far between these guys, and I just want as much as possible.
Activating drone.
Yeah, well, looks like VSTS going to set up for a push from the north side of the map. Bedroom control, then statuary, etc. Surely they're going to be taking control of study as well and going for more of a pinch, though.
I think if they can take control of Master, as long as they can open up the wall, they should be right to go through, but there is no magnet there, so Jack Daddy's literally just going to waltz his way straight through.
Once again, drones downstairs. That was Fnatic's almost their downfall in the last match, last round, sorry. Not focusing on those downstairs, not worrying about the C4s from below, and you know, that almost could have switched around and how it went.
Yeah, really could have. And this Yokai gathering information, even if you don't find anything with these sorts of things, it's still information, right? You can still deduce that there is no one here, right? There is no one here, there is no one here, therefore they must be over here. It becomes, you know, it becomes a deduction game, but even no information is information.
Yeah, I like this here from Dark Sided to open up into the vault, but that's going to be denied with those impact grenades last second. Here's a change up though. Cutie's going to put it on the floor.
And I don't think the impact grenade can kill it if it's on the floor either, but it doesn't matter because he threw both of them really, really quickly. So now they have managed to at least get a peek hole in. You know, they're not going to be able to waltz through it. At least I don't think they can crawl through it, but we'll find out if anyone actually attempts it, but they at least get eyesight onto the bomb site.
It's very important that they've completely cut off all the rotations from Fnatic through that vault area. If they want to change bomb sites, they're going to have to do it at risk of their toes. Yeah,
coming into the landing here, so the bomb site is going to go behind the hard vault door, is what I imagine, but they do have both. Neofighter finds one, Specker finds Neofighter in reply. Rizraz is going to trade Fletch straight back. These kills are coming in thick and fast. Here comes the plant. The Yokai drones, though, are both there ready to attack. Aces just has to pop him out. Aces is going to take out Cutie. Virtue takes out Aces. Magnet and Virtue find one apiece. Virtue got himself for 2k. It is now all up to him with 8 seconds left. He cannot go for this. He needs to stick the plant. He's going to get off it, though. He finds one. He's back, but Magnet is going to make sure that Fnatic go through.
Wow, VSDS definitely put up a massive fight there, almost taking out the big dogs of Fnatic, bringing them to map 3, bringing them to overtime on 2 of those maps. Absolute massive performance.
Such an impressive attempt from Dark Sided, but in the end, not quite enough, and the Giants of the ANZ seed will not be toppled today, at least not in that semi-final. Fnatic 2-1 over Dark Sided will confirm themselves a place in the final. That was how it was supposed to be, but that wasn't necessarily how close we expected it was going to be.
Yeah, that's the outcome, but that wasn't the journey, right? The Dark Sided should be incredibly, incredibly proud of themselves. They should go home with their heads held high and smiles on their faces because they just proved that Fnatic is not untouchable.
Most definitely. Everything was against Dark Sided. We all said Fnatic should be the ones coming into this. The pressure was all there for Dark Sided to at least try and do something against Fnatic, and they most certainly have achieved that today.
Yeah, and you know, looking forward from this series, you know, Dizzle said to me that Fnatic struggle a lot with fatigue, and you know, they might be in a bit of trouble looking forward to the finals if they, you know, can't get on through with that.
That definitely was a very, very long series. You know, we're only missing out on like, what, 3 rounds there? 3 or 4 rounds maybe that could have occurred.
Oh, yeah.
So, about as long as it could have really gone there. Fnatic obviously going to be happy to get that one over and done with.
We missed 2 rounds.
2 rounds. All right, well, there you go. Definitely a long journey, like you said, Flea. But now looking forward to that final for Fnatic. They're going to be able to have a bit of a rest here, go grab some food. That's going to be good to see. But yeah, I mean, we just have to keep going back to Darkseid. I think they're the storyline that is really the exciting part of that matchup. Even though they haven't been able to get the win, you talk time and time again about how the gap is closing here in ANZ. And I think that is really a good way to show it.
Absolutely, it is. Dark-Sided, they managed to push the Fnatic to 2 overtimes? 3 overtimes?
2 overtimes.
It's just ridiculous what they managed to do. And I think that Dark-Sided, they really have worked so hard.
Not to mention, Border was a 6-4. That's also a very close win there for Fnatic. So, you know, super impressed. Like, you know, we're going to sound like a broken record, but yeah, they've just been so amazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, you got to applaud them for the performance that they've had today. Remember, they were not a team that got through to the APAC finals. Fnatic was a team that got through to the grand finals of the APAC finals. So there's definitely a discrepancy there, at least coming into today. But I think that is a bit of a statement from Darkseid. You know, heading into next season, they're going to be standing up and saying, we're not a team that you can really underestimate anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that going forward to next season's Pro League, Darkseid are going to be in a very, very good position to contest one of those top 2 positions and contest a LAN final.
How's things looking for Fnatic at the moment, though? Because, again, we talk about those role changes, it seemed to start to actually work a little bit better toward the end of things. Like, we saw Lusty just going absolutely ballistic in that final map.
It seemed like they started off their attack half very strong, but then they just really fell off. And, you know, I'm not really sure why. It just seemed like the rounds were just going Darksided's way when it looked 50-50 most of the way through. Like I said, it was a slugfest in pretty much all the rounds, and it was. It just came to straight-up gunfights.
Yeah, it really did, and that's what it came down to. The team that fragged better won, and that was Fnatic.
Do you think, I mean, for Darksided, obviously there is a little bit of pressure on their shoulders because they're coming into this LAN environment where Fnatic is absolutely the big boss, essentially. So maybe that could have played a bit of a part into the mentality there for Darksided?
I really don't think it did. I think Darksided handled their first LAN event extremely comfortably and extremely confidently. And so I don't think that nerves really played a part to them. If they did, they recovered from that beautifully.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, as I said, you know, if they're going to show nerves, it's going to be the first couple of rounds, and then they're going to get in the zone. And you know, I think that's what we saw. First round went to Fnatic, but then they struck right back. Yeah,
definitely a good performance across the day in the end there from Fnatic. They're not done just yet, and we, of course, have a lot of questions for them as well. So time for us to jump back over to the stage. Miles, it's all you.
Thank you, fellas. Right, Magnet, that was a marathon. Thanks for keeping that one real exciting. How are you feeling?
Obviously, we're feeling pretty good right now. We come out with a win, but I think this series has just shown how much Darksided have improved and worked on this week.
It was definitely a lot closer than I think the analysts expected, a lot of the fans expected. Now, you got a bit of a break, maybe, while your potential opponents in the grand finals get warmed up. What are your expectations going into this one? Is it going to be a rematch from the APAC finals, or do you think Atletico have got what it takes?
I think if Atletico show up, it will definitely be a quick game. Not quick game, sorry, a tight game, but I'm just hoping that both teams sort of tire out before they play us, so we get a rest at least. But either way, I think it'll be a great game, Atletico versus Norengo.
That was a bit of a marathon, wasn't it? What would you give to Darksided, and what changed for them that made them such a formidable opponent for you guys? Because you were the clear favourites going into this.
I think their teamwork has gone a lot better. They're refragging a lot nicer. They're pushing in together. So just teamwork in general, I think, has improved since the last time we played them.
Any shout-outs you want to give to the crowd here, or any sponsors and whatnot now that you're up on the big stage?
Just shout out to Fnatic, shout out to all the people who showed up. Like, you guys are sick, so keep it up.
Thank you very much. That's all from us here on the desk. Casters, take it away.